Hi guys, so this is my very quick review on Nevermore by Kelly Creagh. So this book has been praised left, right and centre. Everyone seems to be adoring it. I've heard the words amazing and awesome associated with it a million times now. And I had read and heard so many good reviews. I read this book over the course of about 2 weeks, which for me is very slow and quite a long time spent with the one book. And it's also a bad sign because it meant that I kept putting it down, and several times throughout reading it I felt like I could actually put it aside, not finish it, and I really wouldn't care. So I know everyone's going to hate me, I'm really sorry, but all up I'd give this book 3 out of 5 stars. I was actually going to, for a long time there, I was thinking of giving it like 2.5 stars out of 5, and I thought that sounds a bit harsh. There were elements I enjoyed about the book. I'm going to try and be really brief. I like the atmosphere that Kelly Creagh crafted. I thought it was quite effective. The very gothic, dark tone and the sensual nature of location and mood, especially, particularly towards the end when it was reaching a climax of sorts, and the way she incorporated the works of Edgar Allan Poe into the narrative and into the settings in particular. I thought that was quite clever, and it wasn't too overdone, I didn't think. I didn't care too much at all for the romance between Baron and Isabel here, because it really felt quite stale to me, and I just didn't feel emotionally invested in it at all, even though I did like that it developed in quite a slow fashion. It was a very gradual progression towards true love and all that kind of thing. So I guess that was a more realistic approach, which was good. But Baron I didn't care for very much at all, actually. Primarily because he would never answer Isabel, particularly towards the beginning. When she'd ask him questions, he'd just be quiet and silent and not even look at her. And I thought, you're not being mysterious and aloof and secretive and intense here, dude. You're just being rude. Things I actually did like about Isabel, which is surprising considering she was like a blonde cheerleader popular girl. I liked how dedicated she was towards cheerleading, the fact that she really took the sport seriously, and she really loved her role within the cheerleading squad, and she would practice and all that kind of thing, and it was what she was passionate about. I thought that was cool. And I also liked that she was fairly proactive as a heroine, and she'd like, you know, take it upon herself to defend herself as best she could and get involved and do the best that she could with her limited resources and means, and she'd actually be getting in there in the thick of it and doing stuff, so that was good. The main 2 issues I had with the book were pacing. I felt that it was really plodding a lot of the time. Very little was happening, and even though I loved the atmosphere, it felt like it was getting bogged down. There was so much description. There were pages upon pages of the same kind of detail being thrown at you, and it felt so vague a lot of the time, which is weird considering how much time was spent on all of it. It was a very mishmashy, I don't know, uncertain quality to it that I felt. It didn't feel lazy, it just felt like we were continually being kept in the dark, and it just got really damn frustrating, actually. So the pacing and the sort of overall vagueness of it in the end was really giving me a headache, and I know this is upsetting lots of people because you all seem to really love this book, but I just couldn't get into it, and I don't regret that I read it, but I was forcing myself to finish it. Like, I was physically making myself sit down and keep turning the page, even though I wanted to put the book down and just leave it, because I know people wanted me to read this and they wanted my opinion. So I'm trying to rush because this is not going to upload, but I'm so sorry guys. I don't mean to upset or anger anybody, but it's just my opinion. It just didn't seem to be for me, which is disappointing because I was actually looking forward to it given all the hype that surrounds it. So 3 out of 5 stars for Nevermore by Kelly Creagh. Sorry guys.